The fight that I want to see against Bud, the only fight that I think could possibly give Bud any real competition is against Boots. But Bud made it clear he doesn't want to do that. And I
Yeah.
get,
Well, see, this is the thing that gets me with this Boots situation, right? Okay, Boots is 147 pounder. Bud has moved up to 154.
right,
So Errol Spence was supposed to be the supreme guy at 147.
right,
He was the guy. He was the monster. He was the boogeyman. Okay, the boogeyman got disposed of. Now, okay, we want to see Bud fight Boots at 147. Well, he has to rematch Errol Spence at 154. So he's going to fight Spence at 154. Then he said he want to fight the winner of Jamel Charlo and Canelo Alvarez at 168.
right.
So Boots been an IBF mandatory, I think, ever since Errol Spence had the belt.
Uh-huh.
And what I noticed is no one was saying that they wanted to see Boots fight Errol Spence. I'm just saying for me, I didn't hear none of these guys, Bosey or none of those guys saying, yeah, we want to fight. We want to fight Spence and stuff like that. So I would love to see
Boots called it. Remember, Boots called out Errol at a fight where he hit that guy high on the top of the head, knocked him out, and then Errol was in the crowd. Remember, and he goes, "Oh, the big fish is here. You know, I'd love to fight."
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I like a lot of the interviews that I've seen. He might have said that at one time, but it's not. It wasn't like the way they say they wanted to fight Crawford.
Right.
So I remember I was talking to Blue Bloods, and he was telling me how, he was involved in trying to make that fight happen when Crawford fought David Avanesian on BLK Prime. And I listened to the interviews of Bosey. He was like, man, I'm loyal to Showtime, this and that, yada, 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 blah, blah, squaze. But that's neither here nor there. That's water under the bridge. Fact of the matter is, I don't think neither one of them are going to fight each other. Not Spence, but Bud and Boots, they're not going to fight each other. Because Boots is...
Right.
Boots,
go ahead, my bad.
No. I say Boots going to get the vacant IBF. That's what he's going to get. He's going to get the vacant IBF. Whoever he's going to fight for that or get elevated to that. Bud is moving up to 154 along with Spence. They had a rematch. When Bud going to drop those belts, I don't know. When he going to drop them. Will the sanction the body strip them, whatever, I don't know. But he made it clear that, hey, he's rematching Spence and he want to fight the winner of Jamel Charlo and Canelo.
Right.
Those are the money fights for him. I don't know how much money he can make fighting Boots.
Right, and I get it. I don't think he can make that much, but I unfortunately think that Boots is the only fighter that poses a real challenge to Bud right now.
What about Errol Spence? You don't think he can pose a real challenge at 154?
To Bud?
Yeah.
No.
I'm saying at 54, the higher weight stuff, the bigger guy, stronger guy.
It's 7 pounds, and when you weigh and look at what he did to him, and then you say, well, 7 pounds for both of them, like you said earlier, right? They're both going to gain 7 pounds. Will that make a difference? No, because it was such a, if the fight was close and Errol was trying, kind of like when Roy fought Tarver the first time, Roy was clearly tired and he was trying. Then you could say, well, if he puts on some weight and blah, blah, blah. This was just such a huge skill gap that no, I don't think Errol is going to. No, I think Boots is a harder fight. And again, though, here's the thing with Boots has never fought an elite fighter yet. So even though he passes the eye test with flying colors, we still don't know. You know what I mean? Because it's happened before, right? In boxing, where somebody looks amazing for 20, 30 fights. Then when they finally get in there with somebody at the elite level, they fold. So you don't know. But Boots does look visually like he's the only guy with his height, his style, his power, his switch. He reminds me a lot of Terence, as a matter of fact.
That's why people want to see the fight, because when they mention Boots, it's like they look at him as a Terence Crawford clone. Like, because you switch hit like Crawford, you can every time they talk about Boots, that's what they say. It's so they don't compare him to Errol, they compare him to Crawford because of his effortless ability to be able to switch hit. But I do agree he hasn't really fought anybody, so He looks great. He looked excellent against Vila, his last fight.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like the greatest fighter in the history of boxing
Yeah.
against a flat-footed guy that was tailor-made for his style. Kept his
Right.
head center line. He was just right there to be hit all night long. So he looked like the greatest fighter in the history of boxing fighting him.
Right.
I would love to see him and Crawford fight each other. I would love to see Boots and Errol Spence fight each other.
Sure.
I think Boots deserves a shot at the title. I think
It
he's earned the
depends.
right.
Like, let me ask you this: what if Errol Spence looks just as bad in the rematch? Do you think would you want to see him fight Boots at that point?
It depends because Boots fighting at 147. Which weight they gonna fight at? Will Boots move up to 154 and fight Crawford?
Probably. The dude's like 5'11".
Yeah. So if he move up to 154 and fight Crawford, and that's if Crawford stay there. If Crawford have a better opportunity to fight the winner of Jamel Charlo and Canelo, well, if you Crawford, what would you do? Would you say, okay, we're saying hypotheticals. Let's say hypothetically, if Crawford gets by Errol Spence in December and Boots gets elevated to the 147-pound IBF champion, if he does that, my question is, does Crawford stay at 154 and fight Boots? Even though he's a welterweight, he has to move up, which we'll see. But does he have an opportunity to fight Jamel Charlo, the winner of Jamel Charlo and Canelo? Right. Who does he fight? For me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, it isn't. You're right. It is a no-brainer. He's not going to fight Boots, and he pretty much said it, and I don't fault him for it. You know, he wants big money and legacy, not to fight. You know, it's a lose-lose when you fight Boots because you're fighting you're not going to make as much money. You're fighting somebody who is dangerous, but that's not even it. They're also not established yet. You know, at this point in his career, he wants to just add to his legacy, and unfortunately, Boots wouldn't add to his legacy at all, at least not right now.
I mean, it's kind of similar to when I remember when Money Mayweather, Keith Thurman wanted to fight him. I want to fly forward. He was calling Keith Thurman out, and Floyd ended up fighting, I think, Berto or somebody. I think he fought Berto, if I'm not mistaken. And I think after that, he ended up fighting Conor McGregor, got to 50-0 and stuff like that. You know, so I mean, people will say, hey, man, we want to see Floyd fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was that hot guy coming up at that time. I don't think he had a belt yet. So, I mean, I get it. We didn't get that fight. I get it.
Right.
I would love to see Boots and Terence Crawford fight each other, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I think I would like to see the chess match between the two. Boots is he's a young bull coming up out of Philly. He ain't really fought nobody, but he passes the eye test. Terence Crawford, the old vet, been around 15 years. And they're comparing this guy to you all the time. And I know it probably made Boots sick, but the fact of the matter is your style is, it appears that your style is like Crawford's. That's what it appears to be.
Right.
You know, because of the way you box and stuff like that. I would love to see that fight, but I just don't think I would love to see Boots get a shot at Crawford. I'd love to see Boots get a shot at Errol Spence. I'd love to see Boots get a shot at what's the young guy? The guy from San Antonio, Dallas. Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is moving up to 154. So I want to see these guys, man. Like I want to see these top guys fight each other.
Right. Me too. Okay, so let's move south, down in weight. Before we wrap this up, the lightweights, the junior welterweights have some of the most talent that we've seen in a very long time, within one weight class or two weight divisions. I think a lot of people, at least my subscribers, I know are the smart boxing people, and they know that when you're within one weight class, you could all fight each other. Mm-hmm. You know, 35 and 40 could fight each other. They're not, you know. So anyway, between 35 and 40, you have a lot of talent. Who do you think of all of those fighters? Who do you think's the best fighter?
You know, this is the thing, Marco. I have a criteria. I have a old school criteria, and I'm not the eye test type guy. Like you pass the eye test. The only way that I've always known you know who the best fighter is, the top guys have to fight each other. There has to be some kind of conclusion. If they don't fight each other, you know, we can only speculate. Tank Davis looks really, really good. Tank Davis has a lot of punching power. He's quick, very good footwork. But has Tank Davis fought somebody of his caliber, ring IQ of his level? No. You know, He's a cash cow. He sell out venues. He's an attraction. And I think Leonard Ellaby, Floyd Mayweather said that's what they was doing with Tank. They want to make him an attraction. Is he talented? He's absolutely is. Then we have Shakur Stevenson, phenomenal talent as well, 2-division world champion, fighting at 135 now. Now he's getting ready to fight Frank Martin, which I love that fight. I've been hearing a lot about Frank Martin. We're gonna see what's up. Devin Haney, established, undisputed lightweight champion of the world. He did his thing. He beat George Kambosos, fought Teofimo Lopez. No, not Teofimo Lopez. Fought Lomachenko, and controversial decision. Some people feel that Loma won that fight. Some people feel that Devin Haney won. But the fact of the matter is, the judges ruled that Devin Haney won. Right. So he's the undisputed champion, lightweight champion. So there are some really, really good fighters down there. Will we get a chance to see a Shakur and Haney, or Haney Tank, Haney Shakur? I don't know. You know, the politics of boxing, for what I'm seeing right now, you know, they not moving that way. So I don't know who's the best. I will say this: I like Teofimo Lopez at 140.
When he's on the top of his game.
Listen, Teofimo on the top of his game, and he rises his. To me, and I had a lot of criticism of Teofimo when I felt like he was my favorite fighter at 135. Teofimo Lopez. Right. Take over, you know, but but when Teofimo fights the top guys like the Lomachenkos, the Josh Taylors, he shows up to fight. Teofimo Lopez is a gamer, and Teofimo gonna be hard to beat for anybody. So a 140, man. I mean, I like. There's a couple of guys I like. I like Regis Prograis. I like Teofimo Lopez. I like Subadel Matias. You know, but it's hard for me to say who the best, because if you say, okay, I like Tank. This guy say I like Shakur. This guy say I like Devin. This guy say I like Teofimo. I like Subadel Matias. I like Regis Prograis. Well, all of these guys are great fighters, but we need some type of conclusion. They have to fight each other in order for me to actually know. That's why you want to see Terence Crawford and Boots fight each other. We need to know. Okay, let's see them fight and see what happens. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with the 135, the lightweight division, and the 140-pound division as well.
Yeah, they have to fight each other for us to get any kind of, and for their own legacies, right? Yeah. They have to fight each other. You know, I think personally, I like Tank the most. I think Tank's the best fighter. But when I look at Shakur, I see somebody who could possibly be an all-time great, but he just hasn't proven it yet against elite competition. Not saying he won't, he just hasn't yet. I look at Teofimo. I look at a Teofimo that's on his A game, is very hard to beat. Like, gives anybody a run for their money. One thing I can say for sure, though, in my opinion, the most exciting fight, not the best, but the most visually exciting fight in that division would be Teo versus Tank, I think. That would be
bro.
Fireworks.
That'll be Teofimo Lopez versus Tank Davis.
Oof.
That'll be like, both of these guys have punching power. Both of these guys are athletic. Both of these guys have excellent footwork.
Yep.
There's some things that Teofimo does. Sometimes he leaks in with his hooks and stuff, but he does that to fighters that he know he can do it to. Let me tell you something. I would love to see that fight.
Yep.
But to me, that fight ain't gonna happen.
I mean, none of these fights might happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just think the way that Mayweather Promotions is moving Tank, they're not moving him in that direction. You know, Tank is the only fighter that I know, especially when it comes to black fighters. He can literally fight a hog head cheese sandwich, or he can fight this piece of paper, and he'll sell out an arena. Tank is in a situation where he doesn't have to fight nobody, and his fan base is going to pack the venue. He's going to sell it out. So, for a Mayweather standpoint, Leonard Ellaby standpoint, and even a Tank Davis standpoint, why should I risk fighting other top name guys when I don't have to?
Right.
You know, my fan base, I'm selling out venues without having to fight these top guys.
Right.
These other fighters have to fight each other, but I don't have to do that. So I just think the way they're moving him as relate to that, that's gonna happen. And then we got Bob Bam over here with Top Rank. He's making his in-house fights with Shakur and stuff like that. Devin Haney, I think he's a free agent. So I don't know what he's going to do. So.
Man, I hope you're wrong. You're probably right, but I hope you're wrong because it's going to be a real injustice to the fans and also to these fighters' legacies if they can't fight each other, because that's the only way that they could solidify, a place in history, a real place in history. But like you said, when you don't run your own career, when you have handlers doing it, you're right. I mean, like, for example, what do you think about Tyson Fury now fighting an MMA guy?
Man, Marco, don't even get me started on Tyson Fury, man. Like I like Tyson Fury as a fighter. He is the truth. He's the real deal as a fighter. But outside of boxing, I don't like him. I'm just being honest with you. I don't like him at all. I feel like that he should have been he should be fighting Alexander Usyk right now. And Marco, let me explain something to you. This is the problem. This year we have been spoiled. We got David Benavidez. I'm not even talking about the women. The women have been putting on for boxing. But right. We got David Benavidez and Caleb Plant fought this year. Right after that, we got Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fought. Now, it was a rehydration clause in the catch weight, and I don't know why Tank did that. He didn't even have to fight Ryan Garcia with a rehydration clause in the catch weight. He doesn't even have the skill set to even compete with Tank, in my opinion. But that was an asterisk there. But we got that fight. Then we got Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko. Great fight. Then we ended up getting Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now we're getting Saul Canelo Alvarez and Jamel Charlo. So we've been getting so many of these good fights that we're kind of spoiled this year. And I'm like, man, okay, why we can't get Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk for undisputed? Look, we got a new way to monster, cool boy Steph. Like, I don't want to see Tyson Fury fighting. This is what is it called? An exhibition match.
It's a real fight.
Yeah, it's a real fight, but it's a boxing match, right?
It's a sanctioned. I mean, I think the heavyweight championship is up for grabs.
Okay, this is crazy. This is no different from Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, in my opinion.
It's not. That's exactly what it is. You're right.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the guy named Ngannou?
Ngannou, yeah, Francis Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou. Like, this dude is not a boxer.
No. It's and I would be okay with, like, I was okay when Floyd fought Conor because Floyd fought everybody and their mother. He wants to end his career with an easier fight. He's earned it. But Fury just fought two relatively easy fights in White and Chisora. So I'm at this point, I'm like, But then and he admitted on his he had this Netflix documentary. I don't know if you saw it or not. The Tyson Fury Netflix documentary. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't? Did you hear about it?
I think I did, maybe vaguely, but I didn't see it.
It was number one on all of Netflix for like 2 weeks straight.
Okay.
Anyway, on the Netflix documentary, he straight up says, if I'm not fighting Usyk unless I get a lot of money because Usyk is risky. He's smaller, I have everything to lose. So if I'm fighting him, I want the lion's share of the money. So in a way, he admitted that he's not going to fight him unless it's kind of a ridiculously skewed pay scale. I thought he'd look at it the other way around. Like, I get to be undisputed and I'm fighting this little guy who I should crush, but he's looking at it from a different perspective.
You know what, Marco, this is the crazy part about it, fam. Tyson Fury said that he will crush the rabbit. Right. He's a pumped up middleweight. He said a lot of stuff, but then when it comes to actually fighting this guy, it seemed like he's shaking like booty meat. And it's like, man, I'm a 6'9" mammoth. I'm the Gypsy King. Ahoy there, Shiver Me Timbers. Just all of this stuff. And for me, I'm just tired of it. Dude, is you gonna fight this little pumped up middleweight or not? That's where I'm at with it, dog. With Tyson Fury, like I'm done with him as it relates to that. Man, until you fight Usyk, I'm boycotting Tyson Fury. I'm not even supporting this shit. Him fighting Ngannou, I'm not
with
watching
you.
that shit.
I'm with you. I think Tyson has the skills to be one of the greatest heavyweights in a long time because of his physical, naturally, his physical advantages. He has, his size, his athleticism, his power, all that. Sugar Hill turned him into a knockout puncher. But if he doesn't fight, because if you really break it down on paper, he beat an old Klitschko and Wilder. So
Right.
in essence, he just beat one elite heavyweight of his generation, Wilder. So he needs to beat at least 2 or 3 more to be considered an all-time great talks, in my opinion. Because it's not about potential; it's about resume.
Marco, how old are you?
46.
All right, I'm 49. So me and you in the same age
Yeah.
bracket. But
Uh-huh.
you have pretty much an old school criteria. You get it. Like, listen, man, who you fight matters. Who you fight matters. Um, um, all time great. I'm gonna go down a little rabbit hole with that, but I look at it like this here. Those fighters, a lot of those fighters of the old school, they fought under different criteria, right? The criteria is different today. They fought 15 rounds. They fought more. It's just a different criteria. They seem like those guys was a lot tougher. They didn't have the sports medicine and the science that they have today.
Right. Right. The advancement, the
Right.
evolution.
Right.
Exactly. You can't compare eras.
Right. You can't compare eras, but these fighters today, they don't. A lot of them don't fight enough. They're not fighting under the criteria of Hagler, Salvador Sanchez, Julio
Right.
Cesar Chavez, Rafael Gomez.
Guerrero.
They're not fighting 15 rounds. They're not fighting title fights and non-title fights. So again, man, Tyson Fury should be fighting Alexander Usyk.
Yes.
You want this astronomical amount of money to fight this guy. Why? He's a pumped up middleweight. You said you want 70-30. He agreed to take 70%, and you still no. He agreed to take 30%, and still it's something else. So Tyson Fury don't want to fight this guy.
No, and he basically admitted that in the documentary. He basically, and so while I respect him for admitting it, it's also like now you're robbing everybody of the undisputed and yourself, more importantly, of undisputed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. So, I mean, again, it ain't nothing like I like him as a boxer. He's a bad boy. I can't take nothing from him. He has pretty good footwork for his size. He understands distance. He controls the distance and range very well. He can fight dirty if he need to be.
Sure can.
Tyson Fury, I cannot take anything away from him inside of the ring.
Right.
It's the antics on Marco for me outside of the ring. I can't. I'm tired of it myself.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Well, look, man. It was good talking to you. I appreciate it, and let's do it again, man. It was fun.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. I absolutely, Marco. I really appreciate you for inviting me on your platform. You do really good work. I really appreciate it. I had to look you up, but I'm like, oh, okay, I know who this guy is. I know you do a lot of interviews. I've seen like maybe 4 of your interviews. Learn a lot from them. Just keep doing your thing, man. You got my number. You can call me anytime.
Absolutely, and same thing with you. You do great shit. If you ever want me to come on yours, let me know. And same thing with you, man. I really like what you do. Definitely, if you have a different perspective, it's different. It's unique.
Yeah. I'm very different.
Yeah, no, and that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm very different. I'm not gonna lie, man. My style is kind of rash. It is what it is, man. I'm very different, man. But it's entertaining at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot of people like it. We're growing, so
Absolutely.
we're doing that. We're gonna make it do what it do. We're gonna just keep pushing. That's all we can do.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let's do it again soon.
All right. Salute. Shout out,
All right,
Marco.
Peace.